All right. I will record this session. Sure, I forget it. So we have, like I was saying, yeah. So we would be jumping right into using the cloud because that's the way we want to go. We don't want to again have you guys um, learn outdated um, technology, even though the knowledge is never lost. Whatever it is you learn in IT is never lost. But we want to stick to current trends, how things are moving. Yeah. So that's why we'll be using a cloud provider to start off, launch our virtual machine, and then use that to get up to speed with Linux, to using the terminal, get comfortable using the terminal. And I know we usually send out like a workstation setup guide. I don't know how many of us received it and how many of us have set up our AWS um, account and have a Linux machine set up. Is there anybody that has done this or set up your AWS account, set up your Linux machine? I'm going to share my screen and show you. I don't know if Lady Ann shared this guide. It's basically a workstation setup. Uh, Basically shows us how to set up our AWS account and then set up our. Did we get this guide, guys? And also, please, feedback is very, very important. I will be asking questions during the session, and it's good that we are able to give feedback so I can know that I'm not just talking to myself or people that just joined the bootcamp and then, uh, you know, it's going to do something else. Did you guys get this document or have you guys set up your AWS account?
I didn't get this document, but I followed the video of the first class. I already had an AWS account. I launched my instance. The only place I faced the problem was adding the key. That's it.
Okay. Okay. All right. So again, that's why we are on this session to try to unblock whatever issue you're having in setting up your um, workstation and whatever. Try as much as possible to have that sorted today. All right. Is there anybody that has not set up their AWS account and is willing to set it up now so we can, walk through it?
Yes, I'm willing to set mine up right now because I tried it during the week and when
Okay.
I got to the payment option, I think I asked them on the group and
Yes, 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 yes. So you've still not been able to add. So you will be adding your card details to it, but they would not it's not they'll charge you just to be sure that there are funds in your card, but they will revert maybe $1 or so. Just take from the card to be sure that yes, the card is valid, and then they're going to refund that dollar back because you're going to get free ability to use some certain services for a year called a free tier. Uh, so okay. If you don't mind, okay, what error exactly are you getting when you put in your card details?
I
I
didn't
won't,
get any error. Just stopped at that part.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. I won't want you to share your screen and then put in your card details in front of us. So maybe put in your card details and let's see, and if after putting your detail, maybe you can share your screen if you don't mind if you're on your PC, so you can walk through. This document actually explains everything, adding your card details and all of those. So it um, shouldn't be. uh, Yeah, so once you put in your card details, it's pretty much you put in your billing information, your country code. They'll probably send you an SMS and then you confirm and all of those things. Yeah. So is this something you want to do now? Maybe you try.
Yes, I'll try it right now.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. So while Blessing is working on that, Chibuke, do you have an AWS account? I know you're unmuted, but I can't hear you.
Yeah, I said no, not yet.
Oh, okay. Are you looking to set up one?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Do you want us to walk through it
Yes,
now?
please.
Okay. Are you able to share your screen?
Sure.
All right. All right. Let me stop sharing. All right. For those that do not have the account set up, Chibuke is going to be our guide for this session. So if you are able to share your screen, you have the floor. So
Okay.
I'm going to be your mouthpiece. You just
Okay.
give you the instructions and then you just walk through.
Gotcha. All right. I'm sharing my screen.
All right. You can go to Google and then search for AWS console. Just open Google AWS console. That's it then. Sign up. Yeah. Yes. So create a free AWS account. All right. So you can put in your email address. And then just an account name, maybe your name or whatever it is, maybe your initials or whatever. All right. So you verify your email. It's going to send you an email with a verification code. So you can get that from your email and then put it in there. Are you getting the verification code from your email?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I got an email, but
If you go scroll down to the bottom of the email, there should be a verification, a 6-digit code, I think. Yeah. Just put that in here.
still can't find it. Wait,
Are you typing that in?
I think I might already have an account. I'm not sure because
Don't worry, we'll find out immediately.
it's
All right.
sign into my
Oh, the email
account.
is already associated. Oh, okay. Hmm.
Maybe I tried to create it the other day. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
All
Okay.
right.
So this is
You know
you
what? I
should
tell you
have.
what, I can just do it. I can just try to sign up with a different email.
Okay.
Let me go back to
AWS.
how do that's not
Uh,
create account.
yeah, using caps. Your caps is on.
There we go.
You sure you want to show us your password? Can you maybe? Okay. All right. So continue. That's very, very wrong. Maybe stop sharing and choose a different
Okay.
password.
Gotcha.
And then, yeah. because this is very, very important. Your root password is you just stop sharing and then
All
say your
right.
password and then you can share back.
Okay. Go. Stop. Okay. All right. I stopped sharing.
All right,
Yeah.
just put in your password and then you can share back. You
Gotcha.
want to guard your password as much as possible. So security, where in the cloud, or when you're working with people, you want to be very, very conscious of what people can see. So security is very, very important. We'll learn all of these things in a minute. Because everybody's shifting left now. When you hear shift left, it means introducing security of everything that you manage in the cloud. Even going beyond the cloud now, you want to be very security conscious. So please, when you put in your password and then you click on next, you can share your screen. I think it's
Okay.
going to
There we
ask.
go. All right. I'm sharing my screen right now. Can y'all
Okay.
see it?
Okay. So you're still going to enter. You can choose personal.
Okay. Personal. There we go.
Put in so you're still putting in personal information here. So probably want to stop sharing and put in your phone number and your address and all of these things.
Okay. All right. Let me
So,
do that real quick then.
so
All right.
whoever it is that is looking, see, it's a very, very straightforward process. It's really is like signing up for your email provider, your Gmail, your Yahoo or whatever. Yeah. So there's only when I know folks in Nigeria probably would have issues with putting in their local bank cards, but as of January, I think AWS actually, I've not signed up for it. For new users, I don't know if the Nigerian cards would work now, but for existing customers, I'm actually having issue with an organization I work with. Their dollar card works, but yeah, so AWS in January made it available that you can choose a preferred payment method and you can choose your local currency, but they are still not accepting the local cards from the different countries that they allow put in their local currencies. But if you're having issues, there are virtual, um, there are fintechs that offer virtual cards that you can use to get virtual cards and use. One of them is Gray. Then Gray allows you, and then cheaper, even though their conversion rate may be a bit high. But again, for this training, you probably would try again. One of the goals is to make sure that you don't spend, you know, too much on because the cloud is very, very they are out for your money. Like I said, when I learned the cloud, I was just provisioning resources in different regions, and at the end of the month, I get a very, very large bill, and then I run. Well, one of the things you would learn is how to manage your costs, what you spend, the resources that you use, how you're able to manage all of these things. Because when you work with organization, was one of the things, you will be managing is cost optimization. Whatever role, whether you are a senior, in fact, a colleague told me a few days ago that just started a new role as a senior DevOps engineer, and the first thing they told him to do was to optimize costs to make sure that all of the services that you're running is running. You're not spending too much. And I've had roles where the boss, the manager, every time they get their bill, they go and say, Moyo, why is our bill this much? I'll be like, you have resources running, so you will definitely need to pay for these resources. And we're like, okay, is there a way to reduce costs and all of those there? So there are there are rules now that basically are for financial operations in the cloud. You have to manage your services as much as possible. So I'll be giving you all of these tips so that you don't spend too much, in the training. All right. Chibuike is up and running. So
Yeah, so
you can
so
just
now
choose
which one
basic
should I
support.
choose? Oh,
Basic
basic
support is
support.
fine. Yeah.
All right,
So
there we
for
go.
this training, 3-1 is very fine. But organizations, they probably need developer support or business support so that they can, um, have access to the AWS customer care. That's basically what that is for. All right. Congratulations. Your AWS account has been set up. It's very, very straightforward. Did it stress you, Chibuike?
Not at all.
Exactly. All right, so continue, or you can just close this. I don't know.
Continue.
This is probably your browser.
Okay,
So click on go to the AWS Management Console.
there we go.
All right, so this is one of the ways in which you will, well, we'll learn this first. You must be comfortable as much as possible using this, console, this part of the application. Even though I think the second month we'll be learning how to automate most of these things, and you probably find yourself in organizations also that would give you access to the account, but not, to the console. You have to write, commands to be able to interface with all of these things. So this is why we're trying to build up our terminal skills, so that when you find yourself where they give you access keys, secret access key, and then you have to everything that you need to provision all the services, the servers, the databases, and what have you. You have to write commands to be able to create them. So if you are comfortable using the terminal, that will become very, very easy. There are different ways you can interface with, this. So we'll go from learning how to do it, by clicking, to learning to how to automate it by writing commands to do this. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Chirike. So okay, to set up
Okay.
our instance, there's so much going on in here, which when we get to cloud computing, we will talk about. But for now, the only thing that we need in this console here, there's so much that I can start talking about that we'll spend the rest of the night talking about. But for now, we only are concerned about setting up a service called EC2. It's basically a server. You instead of going out there to purchase a physical machine, you can basically rent, if you have it, a server that you can use, for testing purpose and all of those things. Yeah, so just click on next because this is a new account he's asking you to. He wants to show you around, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, thank you. All right, click on done and done. So one of the things you want to take note of is where you provision your infrastructure. So AWS has global network. What I mean is you can provision resources. When I say resources now, let me say server. Let me stick to using servers. And when we talk about different resources, but we'll get to that bridge. Yes, servers now in different parts of the world. So if you look to the top right corner of your screen, yeah, you can see United States in there. So if you click on that, yeah,
Okay.
these are the different, we call them regions. We'll cover all of these things when we get to the cloud region computing session properly. So there are regions in different parts of the world. You have in the United States, different states in the United States, North Virginia, Ohio, North Carolina, Oregon, in Asia, in Canada, Europe, even in Africa also. Yeah, so you want to be very, very, you take note of wherever it is that you want to create your resources and stick to creating resources in there because they are independent of themselves. So now you are in Ohio, US East 2. If you create, say, a server in here now, and then tomorrow when you log into your account, the region is changed to, say, North Virginia. The server that you created, yesterday in Ohio, you will not see it in there, and you think, okay, maybe AWS was kind enough to delete the server for you. No, that's not true. It's still running because they won't do all of that for you. There is the shared responsibility model. So you have to take note of where you create your resources so that you can properly manage those resources. And this is common mistake that people made. I fell in this several times. Yeah. So choose a region and stick to that region so that and then the first thing you do when you log in is to make sure that you are in that region. Else, you won't see your server and you think, okay, maybe I need to provision a new server, and then you create it in there. Yeah. So I would advise for our session, let's stick to using maybe Ohio, and then let's have that uniformity. When you get to running, for an organizations, depending on where they are situated, they would want to create resources, to have it localized, talking about latency, depending on the applications that are running. Yeah, so choose a region. I'm saying this so that you don't at the end of the month get a bill from AWS that you've spent $200, $300. I wouldn't want you to even pay AWS more than what is needed. And for this session, we'll stick to using free tier. Right now, you have 750 hours free tier. There are services that you can use that you won't have to pay for. And so we'll stick to using those best practices on starting and stopping your servers. We'll talk about all of those. All right. So again, choose Ohio. Let's stick to using Ohio. And then, all right. So now we want to create our server, our EC2 instance. If you look at the top left corner, there's a search bar in there. So with this, there are different ways to actually move around this, but we'll try to use the easiest part. I'm a very lazy person, so I like to do things that will make
Easier.
me fast. Exactly, yes. So right here, we're looking for a particular service. There are tons of services that AWS offers, but we just want to use one service for today or for the rest of this. To talk about different services, moving forward, is called the EC2. The EC2 is basically is Elastic Compute Cloud. So just type in EC2 is virtual servers in the cloud. Yeah. So just click on the EC2 service. We're going to create a server.
The very first one?
Yes, that's the very first one. Yes.
All right, there we go.
You click on the name itself.
Oh, on the name.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So again, we'll cover all of these things when we get to cloud computing properly. I don't want us to, there's so much going on in here. We can spend 6 months just learning AWS. Trust me, so much to services. They offer over 200 services. And imagine you have hundreds of engineers working to making sure that a particular service is usable. So just one person trying to where multiple understand multiple services that hundreds of engineers work on. It's going to be a lot. Yeah. So we want to launch an instance, provision an instance. Those is basically saying you want to create a server. Yeah. So click on launch instance. All right. So you can name your instance. I don't know, name it my server. And see there's a name in the center of the screen. So like I said, I know this is probably new terrain, so there's a bit of getting used to where things are here and there, but by the time you do over and over again, you're going to get a hang of all of these things. So you want to name your server. You see the name, there's a part where you see in the middle of the screen there. Just name
the middle.
it.
Wait, like right here?
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
yes, exactly.
My instance, right?
Yes, you can name it whatever. But
My
again,
instance.
you want to be descriptive in naming. So in computer science, I think is Chida is a computer scientist here. In computer science, they say naming things is one of the hardest things. Yeah, we talk about naming variables, naming, giving names to functions, naming things that you want to create. So with practice, you will you choose a convention. Yeah. So everybody should be unique in the way they name their things. Yeah. So when I name things, I like to make sure I use one word, to name things so that when I need to probably remember it or call it, from wherever it is I'm using it. It's easier that way. Now you named it MySpace instance. It's fine. It works for this, yeah, but maybe choose a convention and say, okay, if I'm going to call my instance now, maybe I want to use maybe an underscore in between there, or just use different ways we have naming conventions, camel case, Pascal case. Choose, okay, yes, maybe the first letter in that name should be a lowercase, and the subsequent letters, we call that Pascal case, and yeah. Or use underscore to separate, names. But for names, it's giving us a red squiggly line under it. Maybe it's complaining that you probably cannot use. Okay, that's gone. There's a space behind that name also, so you want to be very, very careful naming and putting white spaces. All right. I don't know why it's giving. Do you want to take away the underscore and then use one word first? And let's see if that's right. I'm not sure you can use an underscore in your name. No, the underscore, maybe take that away. Okay. Oh,
Still not.
still
Yeah.
not. Okay, so just use it and then let's move on. It doesn't matter. But if
Okay.
he complains, let's scroll to the bottom, scroll down a bit. In the middle here. Oh, just you've moved too far. You've moved too fast.
My bad.
So where we have application and OS images,
Right.
what this is basically saying is choose the operating system that you want this server that you want to run on. When you want to set up when you go to buy a PC, there are some PCs that come without operating system. Most of them do come, whether with Windows, a Mac, or a variant of Ubuntu or Linux now. Yeah, so you see we have different operating systems here. In here,
Yes.
Amazon Linux, Mac OS, Ubuntu, Windows. So, but we want to learn, Linux. There are different variants of distributions of Linux. Amazon has its own, Linux is open source. Again, you guys would need to watch the videos that I was sharing with you guys.
Yeah, I remember you saying,
Yes, go ahead.
oh no. I was just saying the Linux. Yeah, I remember in the video that I watched.
Yes, the Amazon Linux.
It's an open source.
Yeah. So so you can launch an Amazon Linux. The default, but if you want, we'll be switching between using the Amazon Linux and Ubuntu. Again, Ubuntu is quite popular. There's so many reasons why it's popular. Yeah, it comes out of the box with so many packages and all of those things. We'll talk about those things in a bit. Yeah, but for now, you can launch the Amazon Linux. Scroll down where you have the Amazon machine image. This basically tells you what let's say now the version of Amazon Linux that you want to launch. Like in Windows now, we have Windows. I think we have Windows 11 now, Windows 10, and all of those different versions of Windows. So basically, Amazon Linux also has, different versions also. So again, Amazon Linux 2023 is the latest of the Amazon Linux. For Ubuntu, I think Ubuntu 24.0 is the latest one in that operating system. And then this kind of just begin the operating system that you want to run on. All right, so let's move on. We'll talk about all of these other things much later. The instance type, basically the configuration of your server, the number of CPUs, the number of the size of the RAM, and some other things is basically so. Here you see is talking about a T2 micro, which is free tier eligible. This basically means you're not paying for it. AWS gives you that ability to use it for free for a certain number of hours. I think 750 hours. Oh crap. Don't know why this time is okay. For 750 hours, if you see it in your first year of opening an AWS account, to the extreme right now, you see there is like a box there. You have 750 hours per month for
Yes.
T2 instance and all of those things. So let's stick to using T2 Micro now because it's free and use it for free. So again, all of these default options will be fine. You're not changing anything now. Just name your instance and scroll to the bottom. We'll cover all of these things in a bit. So this key pair part, I want you to, because for you to be able to connect to your machine now,
Yes.
there should be some form of is a way of authentication. Like, okay, yes, I can connect. So key pair is basically a way to securely connect to your instance. Yeah, so we'll create a new key pair. Let's click on the create a new key pair. Just give it a name. Use one word, please, for your key pair. It's always better that way. Maybe my key pair or something. And try to
all together.
use all small letters. So when you're naming things, first start
Okay.
using small letters. It's safer.
Okay.
Just use one word, my key. My key or something. Yeah. All right. Space behind. Again, very, very careful with white spaces. So they are different. The default here are fine. We'll talk about the different options that we have here. So most of the things you'll be doing with would be about configuration. And I'll try as much as possible for every option that we have there, what those configurations are all about. But for now, you can choose the default encryption thing to use for PEM file, PPK. We'll talk about all of these things. So just go ahead and click on create key. It will download a key, a file into your machine.
Okay. Question. So, do I so on this RSA?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just
And
an
then
algorithm. It's an encryption algorithm that is being used. Again, don't worry yourself. We'll take baby steps. We'll talk about all of these things much later. But for now, I want us to just focus, not
okay.
jump the gun. Yeah.
Gotcha.
There's
So click on
there's so much
create
to talk
key
about.
pair.
Yes. Click on create key pair. Yes. All right. So say you downloaded the PEM file onto your local
Yes.
machine. We'll be using that if you want to connect to in the instance in a bit. All right. So let's scroll to the bottom. Let's keep scrolling. We'll talk about all of these other things much later, but I think that's all we need for now. Let's go ahead and click on launch instance.
Okay.
All right. And because we were explaining things, this would have taken less than a minute. Put in your name, create your key pair, and then launch instance. Those are the things that we actually just configured here. That's how easy it is to spin up a server in the cloud.
Right.
We've made it so easier. If you had to go to the market to purchase a PC, even before the thing boots up, it's going to take more than a minute. Yeah. But every time I launch an instance, my mind is always like, is this easy? Because I've literally had to configure servers and I know this would take before you even go to purchase, before they deliver it, and then have to install the operating system. All of that has been abstracted away. If you are, feeling like you want to learn these things, it's nice though, but I don't think I want anybody to experience, having to install, an operating system yourself. It's not really fun. It's only fun maybe if you have to do it. You don't have a choice. In fact, I remember during my uni days, we installed Linux. It was a professor that taught us that Linux, and then for 3 different classes, we were trying to install an Ubuntu operating system. It was so frustrating. I think I still have PTSD from it. Yeah, it was not nice at all. Yeah, but when I went back to try to do it myself, it was very, very straightforward. But because if you do something over and over again, anyways, you get used to it. But with the cloud now, all of that heavy lifting, having to get the installation disk or whatever it is that you want to use, and then wait for it to boot up. All of those things you don't have to worry yourself about. All you need to do is click, 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 and then it's done. And then when we now go into automating these things, you see that it becomes even much, much easier when we get to infrastructure as code. You just write 1 or 2 lines of, and then these things are created for you. It becomes really, really nice. Yeah. All right. So let's click on, just scroll to the bottom. scroll to the bottom of the screen, click on View All Instances.
Click on View All Instances.
All instances, yes.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you, Chibuike.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here.
So now the instance is running, but it's still performing some status checks. So just there's a refresh button at the top of the screen where you see last dated less than a minute ago. So just click on that reset button once or twice. Let's just wait. Just give it 8 minutes.
Okay.
That should refresh.
Sorry, I have a question concerning the region. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah, Chibuike selected Ohio. Am I supposed to do same?
Can you come again with that? I didn't get that.
Chibuike selected Ohio as his region, right?
Yes.
I think I noticed it. Am I supposed to do same?
Yes, like I said, you can choose any region, but make sure that each time you log into your AWS account, you first take note of that region that you have chosen. And I said,
Okay.
choose Ohio. Let's all stick to using Ohio so that, we don't, when we learn about for this session, this Linux review, let's stick to using Ohio. And then when we have better understanding of how the regions work, then we can, start creating in different regions. So for this session, let's just stick to using Ohio.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Chibuike, do you want to click on that refresh again? Make sure that
Sure.
status check should maybe have passed by now.
Yeah, so 2 minutes ago.
All right. So when we have 2.2, it means your instance is up and running. But how do we connect to this instance now? There are several ways in which we can connect to our instance. If you click on the checkbox that you have by the side of the name of the instance, there's that box.
The checkbox.
There's to the left where you have my instance, the name of the instance, my instance. There's a box beside it.
Okay, this box right here.
Box, yeah. Click on it.
Okay. You want me to check it?
Yeah, yes, just check it. So again, like I said, there are different ways you can connect to this instance. AWS offers an easy way to use your browser to be able to connect to it. But there are some I say downside to using that, but we'll connect to that and let's just use that for now. So see, when you checked on that button, there's a connect button that got enabled beside the refresh button that you have on top there. There's a connect button there at the top of the screen beside the refresh of what you were refreshing earlier. There's a connect. So you click on
connect. Okay.
Yes.
There we go.
So this is one of the ways we can connect to it. This is very, very straightforward. There's again, we'll talk about all of these things in a bit. Look at the bottom. There's a yellow or orange connect button. Let's click on that.
That says connect.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this launches a browser and then it does all of the connections. You are connected. This is the server that you have connected your Amazon Linux 2023. You have that set up. Yeah. Very, very straightforward. This Zoom is killing my vibes. I know this session is going to stop again, but we'll join back. Sorry about this, guys. We'll have this sorted. I'll have this sorted immediately after this class, so that we don't have this interruption. This is very, very annoying. All right, so when we get back in the next session, we'll move on from whoever it is that needs to set up their machine. That's the bulk of it. I'll be sharing my screen.